Okay, so get this. We just finished the first 100 chapters of
Yeah.
Guerra de Dioses contra
Oh,
Demonios
wow.
and the Spanish fantasy epic.
Yeah.
It's nuts, tournaments and betrayals, a hero with fire powers,
Right.
but like things aren't always what they seem.
It's wild how the author takes like classic fantasy tropes, warrior academies and legendary swords,
Mm-hmm.
political intrigue,
Oh.
and just kind of flips them on their head. We are so not in Kansas anymore.
No, not at all. It's
Yeah.
like, take Raydell's graduation from the Warrior Academy.
Oh.
Okay, it says he graduates by fighting 150 classmates at once,
Oh.
like at the same time.
Okay.
And he starts with the one sword, grabs a second, and bam! He's landing 10 blows per second.
What?
It's insane.
That's crazy.
That's got to be some kind of record, even in a world with magic swords.
Absolutely. It establishes him immediately as like exceptionally skilled, even amongst other warriors.
Right.
But it's not just brute force either. 10 blows a second, that's surgical precision.
Yeah.
It hints at a level of control and mastery that goes beyond, what we might expect from a young warrior.
Yeah, and yet he doesn't officially graduate, even after that crazy display. It's like getting a 99 on a test and still failing.
Exactly. It turns out manipulating an element is a graduation requirement.
Oh?
They call it REM.
Okay.
And everyone in this world, in theory, has the potential for REM.
Okay.
But unlocking that power and like controlling it, that's what separates the novices from the masters.
Gotcha.
And Riddell, his REM, is fire.
Fire? Of course it is.
Of course.
And not just like shooting fireballs, which I feel like we've seen a million times.
Right.
He lights his sword on fire.
Oh, wow.
It's like a superheated blade.
Yeah.
Apparently that's unheard of, even in this world full of magic.
Totally.
Yeah.
It suggests that his potential goes beyond even the established norms of their magical system.
Right.
He's not just like following the rules, he's bending them, he's innovating.
Yeah,
Makes you wonder what else is he capable of.
exactly.
But there's a catch to his graduation, right? It's not all sunshine and fire swords.
Right.
He has to promise to find this legendary sword,
Uh-huh.
the Espada de las Sombras, the Sword of Shadows.
Okay.
Powerful missing, and I'm guessing we'll be hearing a lot about it.
Absolutely.
Mm.
It sets up this long-term quest, this kind of driving force behind his journey.
Yeah.
It pushes him beyond the familiar into this vast world that the author has created.
Right.
And I think that's what makes it so compelling. It's not just about graduating or mastering skills. It's about this journey of self-discovery.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so fresh out of the academy, Raydell finds himself in the middle of a tournament.
Classic.
He ends up saving a guy named Thrawn who's supposed to fight this total jerk, Stanford.
Okay.
And something about the Stanford rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah.
The guy's decked out in this shiny bronze armor, the best Riddell has seen since leaving the academy.
Oh.
It's almost like he's overcompensating for something.
That detail about the armor is interesting. It
Mhm.
kind of speaks to Raydell's eye for detail, even in the midst of chaos.
Oops. He's observant, not just about strength or fighting styles.
Right.
Could this be foreshadowing?
Mm.
Maybe there's like a more analytical side to Raydell that we haven't seen yet.
I like that. So Riddell ends up fighting Stanford himself, and it is brutal.
Oh, wow.
I mean, Stanford claims to be from the same academy, but something feels off.
Right. Like, for example, he doesn't seem to grasp the concept of Ram at all.
Yeah.
Which is strange for someone who supposedly graduated from the same rigorous program.
Right.
So he's relying purely on physical strength and bravado,
Right.
which might work against average opponents,
Sure.
but against someone like Raydell, it's almost laughable.
Huge red flag.
Yeah.
And then things get really weird. Riddell starts to think that Thrawn, the guy he saved, might be setting him up.
Oh, no.
There are these subtle clues, like Thrawn being overly nervous and not really explaining what's going on.
Mhm.
Like, who sends their rescuer into a rigged fight?
Right. That's classic foreshadowing, Creating this sense of unease, building tension.
Yeah.
Something's wrong, and so does Raydell.
Yes.
But you're not sure what it is yet?
Totally.
And then, bam! Enter Dantle, a soldier who appears out of nowhere
Oh, God.
and tortures Raydell, almost killing him.
What? Talk about a twist.
Right.
It comes out of nowhere, this sudden act of violence.
Yeah.
What do you think is going on here? Why would Dantle do that?
Hmm.
Is he working for Thrawn? Or is there something else at play?
Ooh.
So many questions.
I know, right? It's where the story gets kind of dark,
Yeah.
introducing this level of cruelty and violence that was only hinted at before.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you question everything you thought you knew about the world and the characters.
For sure. Like, what is Dantel's motivation here?
Right.
And is Thrawn really in on this?
Yeah.
Or is he just a pawn in someone else's game? There's a lot to unpack.
Absolutely. And it throws Raydell into a whole new kind of conflict.
Right.
Up until now, his battles have been physical, tests of strength and skill.
Right.
But now he's facing something way more insidious.
Yeah.
Political machinations, hidden agendas.
Oh, yeah. He's out of his depth, and that makes him vulnerable in a way we haven't seen before.
So what happens next? Does he confront Dantal?
Or
go after Thrawn?
he ends up having to make a deal with the king of Ludonia to save his own life.
Okay.
And it's clear from Raydell's internal monologue that he despises this king.
Interesting.
Like, sees him as manipulative and power-hungry.
Oh, so we've got that classic tension between the hero and authority.
Exactly.
I can already see the sparks flying.
Yeah.
But why does the king even want Raydell? What's his game?
The king's motivations are complex. He's like walking this tightrope, playing different factions against each other.
Mm-hmm.
He sees Raydell as a valuable asset, like a powerful weapon he can wield.
Yeah.
But he also recognizes the danger that Raydell represents, this untamed force that could disrupt his carefully crafted balance of power.
It's interesting how the author weaves these political threads into the story.
Right.
It's not just about Raydell's personal journey anymore.
Yeah.
He's becoming entangled in these larger conflicts.
Absolutely.
These power struggles that have been brewing for who knows how long.
Exactly. And this is where the world building really starts to shine.
Oh, yeah.
We get glimpses of this larger conflict between Ludonia and another kingdom,
Okay.
Subalia.
Gotcha.
And it's not just a simple war for territory.
Right.
It's fueled by historical grievances, cultural clashes, these deep-seated resentments that have been simmering for generations.
Like that scene with the centaurs.
Oh, yeah.
Raydell and Silver, another general in the king's army.
Right.
They have to convince these centaurs to join their side in the war.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not an easy sell.
No.
Given the centaurs' history with humans.
Right.
I mean, they were driven from their fertile lands.
Yeah.
Forced into this harsh desert environment.
Exactly.
Their hatred for humans is completely understandable.
It's a fantastic example of how the author uses these fantastical elements, like centaurs, to explore real-world issues.
Yeah.
Colonialism, displacement.
Right.
The lasting scars of conflict.
That's a good point.
It adds this layer of depth and complexity to the world,
Yeah.
reminding us that even in a fantasy setting, the consequences of actions have real weight.
And then there's that throwaway line about the 23 mountains full of monsters.
Oh, yeah.
Just casually mentioned like it's no big deal.
Right.
But wow, imagine the stories hidden within those mountains.
It's a brilliant way to expand the scope of the world, hinting at these vast, unexplored territories, teeming with danger and mystery.
Right.
It makes you realize that the human conflicts, while important, are just one small part of a much larger tapestry.
Totally. Okay, back to the war. Subalia launches this surprise attack, and their secret weapon is, wait for it,
Okay.
a dragon.
A dragon, of course.
And of course, Raydell has to fight it. Shirtless, no less.
What?
I mean, why shirtless? Is it a distraction tactic? Some kind of ancient warrior ritual? I need answers.
It's likely a symbolic choice, I think, emphasizing Raydell's primal nature, his raw power.
Yeah.
He's not relying on armor or sophisticated weaponry.
Right.
He's facing this mythical beast with nothing but his bare skin and his burning sword.
Wow.
It's a visual representation of his unyielding spirit, his willingness to confront any challenge head on.
And he definitely seems to tap into some kind of berserker mode during the fight.
Right.
Like a surge of power that even he doesn't fully understand. It's as if the fire within him is unleashed both literally and figuratively.
Right. And that raises some interesting questions about the nature of his power.
Yeah.
Is this something he can control, or does it take over him in moments of extreme stress or danger?
Yeah.
And what are the potential consequences of unleashing that kind of raw, untamed energy?
Right.
It's a tantalizing glimpse into the depths of his abilities, and perhaps a foreshadowing of the challenges he'll face as he grapples with this power.
And just when it seems like Raydell might actually slay the dragon,
Oh, no.
the beast gets blinded but not killed and flies off.
Wow.
Leaving Raydell victorious, but with this lingering sense of unease. Talk about a cliffhanger.
That's crazy.
That image of the blinded dragon escaping,
Yeah.
it's haunting.
Yeah.
It really sets the stage for a future confrontation.
Oh, absolutely. A wounded, enraged dragon seeking revenge.
Right.
arguably more dangerous than one simply following orders.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It adds this layer of unpredictability to the story.
Yeah.
This sense that anything could happen.
Hmm.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, from Riedel's fiery graduation to political intrigue,
Right.
centaur alliances, and even dragon battles. Yep. What stands out to you the most about these first 100 chapters?
For me, it's the way the author blends action, political intrigue, and character development so seamlessly. We see Raydell grow from this hot-headed young warrior into someone who's starting to understand the complexities of the world, the consequences of his actions.
Right.
He's learning that true strength isn't just about physical prowess, but about making difficult choices.
Right.
Navigating these treacherous landscapes, both literal and metaphorical.
And he's got a lot on his plate right now.
He does.
This quest for the legendary Sword of Shadows.
Yeah.
The brewing war with Subalia. And let's not forget the king.
Right.
Who seems to be playing everyone like chess pieces.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Raydell is caught in this web of destiny.
Yeah.
And he's only just beginning to understand the threads that bind him.
And then there's the question of his own power. You know, this berserker rage, this fiery energy that seems to surge within him. It's both a gift and a potential curse.
Totally.
Can he control it?
Right.
Or will it ultimately consume him?
Such a good question.
It's a tension that I think will continue to build as the story progresses.
If you were in Raydell's shoes, what would you do?
Oh, man.
Would you stay in Ludonia, serving a king you despise?
Yeah.
Or would you strike out on your own, searching for the Sword of Shadows?
Right.
Forging your own path?
It's a tough choice. On one hand, staying in Ludonia offers sense of security, a chance to hone his skills and perhaps influence the political landscape from within.
Yeah.
But also means playing by the king's rules, which could compromise his values.
Right.
And ultimately lead him down a path he doesn't want to take.
Yeah. On the other hand, searching for the Sword of Shadows promises adventure, freedom, and maybe even a chance to discover his true destiny.
Totally.
But it's also fraught with danger,
Yeah.
uncertainty, and the potential for isolation.
For sure.
I mean, where would you even start looking for a legendary sword?
Right.
In a world this vast and full of secrets.
Exactly, and that's what makes this story so captivating. It leaves you wanting more, eager to see what choices Raydell makes, what challenges he faces, how he ultimately evolves as a character.
Totally.
It's a journey of self-discovery, a battle against external forces, and a constant struggle to balance power with responsibility. And I, for one, can't wait to see where the author takes us next.
Well said. That's it for this deep dive into the first 100 chapters of Guerra de Dioses contra Demonios.
Wow.
Until next time, keep those pages turning and those theories brewing.